Rocky 8, that is, Creed 2, is out for the holidays and brings some old familiar faces with it. Let's take a look, shall we? Creed 2 is the follow-up to the hugely successful Rocky franchise refresher, Creed, starring Michael B. Jordan in the title role and Sylvester Stallone reprising his iconic role of Rocky. It was helmed by super director Ryan Coogler, and it cemented him and Jordan as household names. Creed 2 is directed by Steven Caple Jr., while Coogler has stepped aside into an executive producing role. This time out, Adonis, who has enjoyed some success as a boxer, has now managed to win the heavyweight title, but is challenged by Victor Drago, the son of Ivan Drago, the man who killed his father in the ring 33 years earlier. When I first heard the premise of Creed 2 back when it was announced, I confess that I cringed. It seemed that this new grounded franchise had so much potential to grow, and it felt like the storyline was a quick way to kill it. The plot of Rocky IV at the time felt like the franchise was jumping the shark. I mean, the first one was the most plausible, the second one everyone wanted to see, and the third one was a sequel. It was kind of over the top at that. Mr. T's Clubber Lang introduced this superhuman element to the series, and it seemed that the only way to top that was to create an adversary in Ivan Drago so formidable that he kills off a beloved character, Apollo, and nearly destroys Rocky in the process. Now, despite the far-fetched nature of Rocky IV, it succeeds, but always felt kind of immature and even guilty for enjoying it, even then. One of the many things I enjoyed about Creed is that it attempted to ground the series. Rocky became human again. Adonis Creed was a new kind of underdog, but also human and multi-layered. Creed was solid, even though its own premise was a touch far-fetched. Creed 2's premise threatens to destroy all the credibility set up in the first film by revisiting the plot of the most ridiculous Rocky film. By the way, don't confuse Rocky IV's far-fetched plot with Rocky V's poor execution. Rocky V is the worst of the series by far. But all that said, Steven Caple Jr. is clearly a contemporary of Coogler, and Creed 2 goes far to exceed expectations. Getting to the negative, Creed 2 is not an original film in any way. We've seen this movie several times before. It's cut from 3 or 4 different Rocky movies and countless other sports movies. And because of that, it's totally predictable right down to the cool training sequences everyone's waiting for. But movies don't necessarily work because you don't know what's going to happen. It's all in the execution, and that's where Creed 2 finds its legs. The performances are strong, as you would expect. All the returning characters have grown a bit richer. Michael B. Jordan is once again excellent. He revives all of Adonis' intensity, both physically and emotionally, while growing the character appropriately for the sequel. He has proven that he can carry a film, and he carries this one. The always spot-on Tessa Thompson gives Bianca strength and insight. Bianca is a fighter in her own right, and she understands what it means to create a life with Adonis. And the chemistry between her and Adonis is spot on. The old man himself even peels back a few new layers and allows us to see even more Rocky vulnerability. But make no mistake, this has never stopped being Rocky's story as well. Phylicia Rashad returns as Mary Ann Creed, and while not given a lot to do, she makes her mark with the limited screen time that she has. Wood Harris returns as Little Duke, and is also given a little bit more to do, and there's some nice cameos, including Milo Ventimiglia reprising his role as Robert, and Brigitte Nielsen as Ludmilla Drago. But certainly the most significant reprisal of all is Dolph Lundgren as Ivan Drago, paired perfectly with the introduction of Victor Drago, played very imposingly but also in a relatable way by Florian Big Nasty Munteanu. You would not expect there to be a lot of room for growth here, as they are the antagonists. But not only does the film make the Dragos' motivations clear, it also helps us to understand them. The Dragos don't get an exceptional amount of screen time, but what we do get perfectly defines what's driving them to bring this challenge and gives them a complete story arc. By the climax, you find it harder to root for Adonis because you know exactly what's on the line for the Dragos. This film has raised the bar in terms of generating sympathy for the opponents. The end of the film is emotionally satisfying, and while very predictable, the single biggest surprise is that the filmmakers execute the story as well as they do, and keep it grounded in the way that all the characters remain relatable and human. Creed and Creed 2 have restored the Rocky franchise to its roots and cleared the way for this new protagonist to tell new stories. I just hope moving forward, if they continue, that they have the good sense to know when to quit. I'd suggest stopping after 3, if not after this one. But this film gets a 4 out of 5. That is one opinion. Talk to me. What's yours? Tell me what you thought of Creed by leaving your comments below. And before you leave, please smash that like button and help us out. If you like what you see here at our tiny channel, please subscribe for future reviews and other content. You have just been spoiled. Come back fresh next time and we'll do it again. See ya.